In this module, we've been talking about how to get started with recycled art. For the last part of the module, we're going to cover attachment. Before you have your students dive right into doing a formal project, you do want to get them started by doing some attachment tips and tricks to give them opportunities so that they can combine these different and unusual materials in a way that's going to work and it's going to be successful so they can create some lasting materials. So we're going to demonstrate a few different ones on camera. We have this great handout that covers some basic attachment techniques that's included in your pack. And you might have seen these. This is something that I've made for my classroom that just gives my students a menu of the different attachment techniques. And I keep it up so that if they have a question, they can go over to the poster and they can get a little bit more information on how to make something stick in a certain way. So we're going to demo the flange technique. So this is a great way of getting something that's vertical to attach to something that is flat or horizontal. And so you can do it with different materials. Paper and cardboard are typically the general material that these techniques would work in, but there are some plastic materials or foam that would work as well. So for the flange, if I take my tube and cut slits along the bottom edge about even, and then I bend them backwards, you can create a good surface for your glue or adhesive. And so creating that surface area is going to make it stay down much better than trying to just keep the glue along the top rim. Another technique would be an L-brace. So this is how you can attach two different materials. And you can do this with tape. If I lay the materials flat, put the tape down on one side, and then put the tape down on part of the side, and then make an L. And so this makes like a nice little corner support, and you can build a structure that way. Another thing is you can make tabs and slots. And so this is if you're wanting to fit two different materials together, you can make a tab, which is this. And we just achieve that by cutting away part of the cardboard. And then the slot is where you can slide that right in. And this is a nice way of creating an attachment without using any glue or any extra materials. Another one is slots and notches. So if I wanted to make these two pieces slide together, I can cut a little slot, and then you can slide them together. And again, this is another route of joining these materials without using any adhesives. Other materials you could use are like brad fasteners, or you could use string, and those are things that could look like this. So a brad fastener is something that you can attach if you want a section to move. You can wrap materials together. You can even use needle and thread to stitch them together. Now, when I talk to my students about attachment, I always make sure to take time to go over adhesives. So adhesives would include tape, glue, and the various levels of those. So tape, we have Scotch tape, we have masking tape, and tape will work better in certain areas. So like Scotch tape, not super strong. Masking tape's going to be a little bit stronger. If you wrap masking tape, it's going to be even stronger than doing like a little tab of it. So if I wanted to connect two tubes together, wrapping masking tape around the tubes would be stronger than laying strips of masking tape over them. And it would give you that it covers more surface area so it sticks on better. Glue stick is something that you'd find common in your classroom, but really it's good for paper-to-paper bonds. It's not going to be something that you'll use a lot in sculpture. School glue is going to be something you can use. It does take longer to dry, and students tend to get a little frustrated with that as they want to build things as quickly as possible. Tacky glue, again, takes longer to dry, but it is much stickier and it will hold a little bit better than school glue. And lastly, we're going to talk about hot glue. So I am a teacher that uses hot glue in her classroom. I know it can be sometimes controversial, but there are so many low temp hot glue guns on the market now that really make it safe for younger students, even like upper elementary students, to use them. So whenever I have hot glue guns available, it is a station. It's something that I would monitor and I would stay nearby, and we'd go over it anytime they come out. Even if it's the 5th time or the 100th time my students have seen those hot glue guns, we always go over the safety directions on how to hold the gun, where you should keep your fingers away, and what to do if you do get glue on your skin. So hot glue is a great medium for working with these materials because it's great on so many different surfaces. But it's good to teach your students that strong foundation of attachment supplies and attachment techniques, because hot glue is not something that you can have full access to every single person in the classroom at the same time. It's just not necessarily feasible, and it's good that they have those other skills in hand. Hopefully these tips help you out. In the next one, we're going to discuss managing materials in your classroom.